Well, he doesn't look any too worse for the wear, does he?
No. Louise, would you take Christopher and make him some lunch, please?
Certainly. Come on, Christopher.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Do you have some time?
Of course I do. Come on. Did you get any sleep last night?
Not much. Didn't want to take any more of those pills. I really don't like them.
You never did.
I laid awake most of the night just thinking. Thinking about how sad everything is. There've been so many tragedies in the past couple of years. Mama's dying. And now Mark's dying. Our marriage breaking up. Sometimes I just can't believe that we're divorced. I don't know, Bobby. We should have found some way to have made it work.
I don't disagree with that.
I thought a lot about our splitting up. It wasn't just your fault or the Ewings' fault. A lot of it was my fault, too. You don't know this, but I came to Thanksgiving Square that day to tell you that I was ready to try again.
Try? Try what? Getting back together?
Yes.
Well, that's very strange. I was sure you didn't want to.
Oh, Bobby, I wanted to. I always wanted to. I just didn't know if I could. Anyway, before I could say anything, you told me that you were letting me go.
But that's because of your letter.
What letter?
The letter that you wrote to your lawyer. Maybe it was a first draft or something. Maybe you didn't even send it. But Catherine found it and read it to me.
Bobby, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. But I really think you should read this.
Read what? What is it?
It's a letter I found that Pam had thrown away.
Catherine, I don't read Pam's mail.
Look, I didn't want to read it either. I found it accidentally, but well, once I started reading it, I couldn't put it down. It's a letter she wrote her lawyer. Now, maybe she decided not to mail it. I don't know, maybe it was a first draft and she decided to redo it. In any case, I think you should see it.
I can't do that.
Then I'm going to read it to you, because I think you have to hear it. It's in response to a letter the lawyer wrote her. He wanted her to give serious thought as to why she wanted the divorce, if she still wanted it.
Catherine, this is wrong.
The first part isn't important, but then she writes, Mr. Garrity, when I came to see you, I was sure I wanted a divorce from my husband. I am less sure now, mainly because I've seen that divorcing him would hurt him very deeply. Bobby and I have grown apart, and my love for him has changed. I might never have known how much if it were not for a man I met recently. But I still care deeply for Bobby and would never want to hurt him. 6 years of marriage cannot be easily dismissed. Therefore, if that means remaining with my husband when it no longer makes me happy, in order to avoid causing him that pain, then perhaps that is what I'll have to do. Mr. Garrity, I know we would both be better off if Bobby would just let me go. But if he doesn't, I may have to give in and return to him. His happiness should be as important to me as my own is. Oh, Bobby, I'm so terribly sorry.
You said you wanted out of the marriage. You didn't want to divorce me. You were afraid it would hurt me. You were hoping that I'd let you go.
Catherine read you this letter?
Yes. And despite how I felt at the time, it made me realize you wanted a different life.
Come on in, Pam. I was just dressing.
I want to talk to you about the letter.
Letter? What letter?
The letter that you read to Bobby. The letter from me to my attorney before we ever filed for a divorce. The letter that said that I wanted to lead a different kind of life away from Bobby. The letter that I never wrote, Catherine.
Now, Pam, just a minute.
Did you write it? You did, didn't you? Did you write it?
Well, yes. J.R. forced me to. It was all his fault.
J.R. forced you. J.R. forced you to write a letter to break up me and Bobby.
That's right.
You're a liar.
No, I'm not. You know how much he wanted the two of you divorced. And so did I.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
What difference does it make to you anyway? You left Bobby, didn't you?
He was still my husband.
But you walked out on him. You didn't want him anymore, and I did. I fell in love with Bobby from the first time I saw him. And I've loved him ever since. Pam, and I'm gonna have him too.
Listen to me. You may be my sister, but I never want to see you again. I want you out of my life for good.